Right, welcome back to, of course, the second segment of the. And now we kick direct to the sports review, where we take a look at matters to do with local sports review. What has happened, and of course, indeed, has really happened this particular week. We're talking about the Dubai Sevens. We're talking about Kenya dodging bullet, and of course, we have the FKF Premier League that is just underway right now. Plenty much to talk about, but first of all, let me introduce pretty quick my guest. Of course, thank you so much, of course, for always making time. Then we have there Michael, that is one and only. Now, gentlemen, a lot has happened this particular week, but I want us to talk about the Dubai Sevens. Kenya, if you compare Kenyan's performance, I'm talking about Shuja in the Hong Kong and, of course, the Dubai, do you see some sort of improvement this time around?
Yeah, of course, there are improvements. First of all, in the first match, getting a draw against Australia, one of the best sides in rugby, and then another draw against Great Britain. Unfortunately, they were sunk by South Africa, but I have seen a lot of improvements given the situation.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Lincoln talk about the situation. Well, this is a team that had already, circulating some pay bill there, just passionately calling for Kenyans to, hey, you know what, we are really suffering, we want to pay our bills, can you do something about that? And that really caught the attention of Sports CS, and he intervened to see the boys actually made it to Dubai. Given the circumstances and everything that is happening with our boys, do you think should we be lenient with them, or this is the best that actually they can give?
I don't think that this is the best. We should be lenient with our sevens. This is just one step towards the success. You see them walipiga Australia yenye ilitop Hong Kong Sevens. This is just one step. I told you with a little motivation. Uliona, they were given, I think, direct funding to their accounts. So I think that actually is a certain motivation factor, being that their performance of the Dubai Sevens compared with the Hong Kong, it's much a better improvement as per last time. Even though they are not still qualifying, but we should be lenient with them. Rome was not built in one day,
Right.
Just like, let me say, Arsenal. It took Arteta like 3 years to build whatever they have now. So I think we should be lenient with our sevens, give them a bit much time. Maybe we will see much more improvement in South Africa sevens when the time comes. I think it's later on in December. Yeah.
Well, until when? Actually, we have been lenient with our Kenya Sevens, and this is a team that is keepable. Actually, when you talk about the most performing teams in Africa, we have the likes of South Africa, and of course we have Kenya, meaning that we have roots, we have the dominance. This game, you are known, it is what we take pride in. But until when?
Of course, it's going to take time, but given the performances that I've seen in Dubai, talk about the likes of Tony Omondi in yesterday's matches against the first one against Australia, the second one against South Africa, against Great Britain. He was one of the best players in that match. So I think they need time, that is true, but we also saw some very good performances last year in that is in 2022, finishing 12th, and it's only South Africa who were above us in African teams. But again, we can't take South Africa as a very good team in terms of now we say we have South Africa and then Kenya, and now take that as, I mean,
right.
We need to build our pace.
All right. Well, talk about South Africa, and I wonder, what are we not doing right? When you compare the caliber of South African players and you compare of ours, I think by all pedigree we stand head shoulder, same level. But what is it? What is it that is working so well for South African that is not working for us Kenya? What is it?
Oh, the thing that works well with South Africa and what's going on with us is that our team, the Kenyan team, I think there is a bit much of relaxation in the team. Yeah, relaxation, and then the team having some issues, maybe in the flickering of the management and the government, some things like that. We find that in South Africa, their team are well much established. They are a bit organized in their team, and the performance, they just have a great performance. I think so. The organization in Kenyan team is a bit deteriorating.
All right. Well, when you talk about the organization, we saw what happened with Kenya. I mean, with our rugby team, the Shujaas, what is happening, what was circulating in the social media, of course, to the extent that players actually appealing for Kenyans to chip in and give that a lending hand. That actually some sort of evoke some kind of reaction from sports CS, and it's actually kind of opened some, wounds, many will say poking holes. And one of the key issues that actually came out of that particular meeting was the issue of trust issues. CS Ababu Namwamba says he actually doesn't trust the Kenya Rugby Union, the executive committee and all the body that actually run rugby in Kenya. Do you think there is something that actually, there is more than what meets the eye?
Of course, there is, in terms of management, as he has said. And even in other bodies, when you talk about financial management, that is one thing that has been of great concern, even in Kenyan soccer. And I think it's something that needs to be worked on in terms of restructuring and doing a reshuffle on some of these top bodies. And maybe we can see some changes in the next 2, 3, 4 years.
All right. What actually really shocked me is that there is some fund. Of course, one of the main issues that Kenya Rugby Union actually were crying fault about it is the lack of sponsorship. But in the recent interview that Ababu Namwamba had done, one of the things that actually came out is that there is some fund that government actually gives the rugby union to help in running the affairs. And one of the question was how the accountability of that money, how has it been spent? That is the big question that many will be asking. But even as we move to this rugby, and let's focus on some other things that have really dominated the Kenyan local media as far as sport is concerned. And I'm talking about the issue of doping. Remember last time when we were talking about Kenya just one step closer to being banned, but yeah, we survived. Actually, it's like we have 9 lives, and we have been pardoned and given a second chance. But now that we have this particular second chance, of course, it is a process of building trust. Do you think this is now the moment for redemption?
On the doping,
yeah,
this is the moment of redemption. We were just an inch close to being disbanded by the organization, the World Athletics Organization. But I think Ababu Namwamba has the solution, since he wrote to the organization and then asked for a little time. I think he has a well-structured on how to go on with the doping crisis, being that around 45 or so athletes were under sanctions of doping, and some 20 cases still under investigation. I think he has a very clear vision on how to combat this kind of crisis. That's why the organization flicked an eye for the FIFA to give them the organization flicked an eye to give them an opportunity to continue with the sports.
All right, Michael, if you look at now, yes, it's true we have been given the second chance, but if you look at the number of cases that actually we have, a further 8 are on list of being provincially suspended. Then Kenya created its own anti-doping agency in 2016. Now we are in 2022, roughly a couple of, let's say, 7 years, and introduced criminal penalties, including jail term, for those caught up cheating. Do you see this was just something to, what we'll call to sanitize the rot in, of course, athletics, what is happening among our athletes? Now that the body was formed in 2016, one of the key issues was opening criminal charges and penalties, including a jail term. But until now, nobody has even been caught or even sentenced for this particular thing. Do you think we have already lost the war in as far as doping is concerned?
Let me first of all say the introduction of ADAC was meant to, of course, give our athletes easy access in terms of when you are caught doping. That is the first institution or organization that you can approach and, of course, have your case solved. But again, I think it was just done for PR reasons. I don't think they have done as much as we would have expected. And having such huge numbers, talk of 55 athletes being banned only in 2022. We have, like you have said, another provisional 8, of course, pending the outcomes of their results. Yet there is no single number that you have had being charged, like you have said about the jail terms. I think maybe we should give them more time, but again, it's all about doing a reshuffle, that is from the CS at the top, making sure that some of these bodies are, of course, restructured. I understand some of them are independent bodies, so I don't know whether the CS has the mandate to, of course, be involved in doing some reshuffle, but I think from his position, he has some authority.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it is something that we'll just have to wait and see what actually will happen, because if we dare do, make even a slightest mistake, then you are doomed. Yeah, actually, this time round, we need redemption, everything that we can actually fight these particular menace that have become a big problem as far as athletics is concerned in Kenya. Well, that is the farthest we can go as far as, the whole issue of doping is concerned. And now I want us to switch gears to, football, the FKF Premier League, some fixtures that were played last weekend, and of course we have a couple of fixtures that we expect to be playing. Of course, one is playing right now. And before even we talk about the FKF, there is a league that is set to resume on 10th of December. That is the Division 1. And we had some few moments, and we spoke to coaches, and of course this is what they had to say about regarding this particular resumption, the expectation, what they hope to see this time round. I don't know if my director has that particular clip, just to keep us to speed with the expectation, what they expect as far as the new season is about to kick off. The clip is, about the Division 1, of course, league preparation, everything that will be coming in between. Remember, the Football Kenya Federation Competition Department convened a meeting with officials to form clubs of, that is, women FKF Division 1 Top Gear for the 2022-2023 season. Let's take a look at that clip.
So ile time kidogo nyo mnakuja mna train, kama kuna ka friendly mnapiga, then games ikikuja, hata tulikuwa tunazungumza with a friend of mine, my colleague actually, Gusi, tukasema hizi games zenye tunacheza kama by any chance tutaanza date 10, kwa sababu kama kesi ikirule games ya team zenye zilikuwa zinafanya interligation ziende, za juu ziende, inamaanisha fixture itatengenezwa upya, then tupatiwe date mpya ya games. But ikibaki hivyo, inamaanisha date 10 tunaanza game. So we were like, okay, tuja prepare that much, but psychologically players wamejua date 10 kuna game, tumewa feed fixtures, tumewa train kidogo pale na pale, ingine wanajiongezea wenyewe kule wako. Then the first 2, 3, 4 matches ndio utakuwa unaingiza vizuri kwa system, then we play.
The ladies wako very prepared. They are anxious for the league to start. wamekuwa wakitamani ligi ianze, you know, mtu ana train, there is no league, so but for now at least wenye wanasikia ligi inaanza next week wako very 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 well prepared, very humble, ready for the matches.
Alright, and that is what they were hoping, and of course they have so many expectations going to the new season. We just hope that their expectation and their dream as far as the 2022-2023 season is concerned, it will actually be realized. And now this one, it has actually been a long journey, of course, for Division 1, having spent like almost, actually it's 1 year out of competitive action due to many things that were happening. Now, gentlemen, having spent like almost 1 year, of course, outside, you know, without any competitive action, and now that the league is set to resume on 10th of December, this month, and they have some few expectation. But from your own point of view, what are you expecting this time round?
The league, I expect that there is much action. I expected much action, but then I'm still seeing some games are getting postponed due to the relegation promotion thing. But then I still expect much from the league, much action, I think so. Yeah.
All right. And you heard what she said, that they're still working on to just see how they will, once the decision about some teams that were supposed to be relegated and even others promoted, once that hearing is of course determined, then everything clicks into place. But now this brings a very important aspect that actually we have been looking forward to. Remember, this is match day 3 for Football Kenya Federation Premier League, and 3 teams actually they haven't even played a single match. Their fate still unknown. In terms of psychologically, in terms of preparation and all things in together, do you think this is something that will affect them moving forward? Now that I think the pace setters already set the pace, the gap is now beginning to be widened. 3 games for me, it's quite huge, especially if a team like Tusker that have already set the margin high. Should they win tomorrow's fixtures, then that means the gap will be 9. So for the team that will be chasing the lot without any single game being played, how will it affect their preparation as far as the new season is concerned?
Of course, every team has a number of they will play all fixtures, but now having the starting fixtures being postponed, of course it will affect them mentally, because you are preparing for pre-season knowing that we are going to the first match as planned, and then some few days to the season kickoff, that's when this decision is made. So of course it will affect them mentally, because you have prepared so much, but again coming to the last few days, that's when you learn of these changes. To the other teams, for example, we have had AFC Leopards. Their match was postponed, I think the last match, so coming to this game they have more energy against Tusker. So in as much as there is lack of motivation for the ones who have not played all their matches, there is also some advantage to the ones that were meant to play some of these teams, the likes of Wazito, Talanta, talk of Viga Bullets. Yeah.
Well, if you prepare for match for, let's say, for the longest time, and of course you're so eager, the new season is here, the dates are already released, and you know, like this time it's our moment to step on that pitch and do the magic. But unfortunately, few days to the kickoff, then you receive a letter, and the letter reads like, you know, you'll have to wait a little bit more longer for until the decision is made whether to determine if you will either take part in this league or you'll be demoted. Remember, you have spent like almost 1 year preparing for this particular game, and now the game is here with you, but you can't take part of it. How damaging is it for the players, for the team, the technical bench, everybody involved? I'm talking about the teams like the likes of Wazito FC, Mathare United, of course, Vihiga Bullets.
The damage is very huge, and I think I'll blame this on Barry Otieno, being that they made a decision of no relegation and no promotion thing, and now the teams are the ones suffering. In that the promoted teams, even them, they are still on hold. They don't know whether they'll be promoted or they'll just stay at the League Two, or the relegated teams, the Mathare United, if they'll stay or they'll go back. I think I still blame Barry Otieno, and then the cost, it's very. I think the cost has been very much in that it's been a waste, in that they have been paying for the practice, the gym, all that, the pre-season things, preparing for the league, knowing that they are going to participate in the big stage, and then few weeks or so, they get a letter that they are still on hold, they won't practice. I think this one has cost a lot of funds, in that in all those preparation costs and all that, they have suffered a huge loss.
All right. Well, let me take you through today's fixtures pretty fast, so that we can take a look at which team will be playing who and against who, and actually who has upper chances. So the first fixtures was Kenya Police vs Kakamega Homeboys. That match has already kicked off at 2 p.m. Another one will be Ulinzi Stars vs Poster Rangers. Another one will be Zoya Sugar vs Sofapaka. Remember, the Ulinzi Stars and Poster Rangers, Zoya Sugar vs Sofapaka will be played at 3 p.m. That is match, I'm sure, it's just about to kick off. Well, another match will be played at, that is Gor Mahia vs Wazito FC. It has been suspended because of this particular the pending hearing. Then Vihiga Bullet, Bidco United yet again suspended, Kariobangi Sharks and Mathare United. That one still suspended. On Sunday, this is the mother of it all. Tusker FC vs FC Leopards will be playing, and these are the two dominant teams so far, and these fixtures between the two teams, it is very interesting, one that I'm sure everyone will be wanting to take a look at it and follow it keenly to see who will be setting the pace, because this one, it's a big one. Then City Stars vs Atlanta FC. Remember, City Stars will be looking for moment of redemption. Remember, they were thrashed 4-1. That is at the hand of Tusker FC, and actually they will be wanting to revenge against Atlanta FC. But it's football. In football, anything is possible. You can't really underrate your opponent. At least that's what World Cup has taught us. Then the last match will be Bandari FC vs KCB. Well, let's take a look at Ulinzi Stars vs Poster Rangers. Their performance, for me, these are the two teams that they haven't really convinced me, and I don't know, they really struggle. Regardless of Ulinzi Stars, now they have a new tactician, that is Bernard Mwalala, the former Kakamega Homeboys head coach. Well, these particular fixtures, who do you see probably has an upper hand?
For me, I'll go for Ulinzi Stars yet again. I know they have been struggling with in the first match they lost to AFC Leopards. Coming to the second match, I think it was also a loss, if I'm not wrong. And then we are talking about Poster Rangers with some new signings. Talk about David Anange from Fortune Sacco, one of the best sites when it comes to producing these young talents. And then we are talking about Ulinzi Stars with a form of two losses in the last 2 matches. And I think they'll be seeking to, of course, redeem themselves. For Poster Rangers, I don't think they will offer so much challenge for Ulinzi Stars. But again, even if it's a win for Ulinzi Stars, I think they will quite struggle.
Ulinzi Stars is a small team actually. I don't think where actually you rate this team as one of the. Now for today's, you'll even be surprised to see that they lose yet
Yeah,
again.
Posta-
The only thing
Postas
that
will-
actually they have improved is, at least they have a stadium, and all that thanks to their sponsors. Of course, they are the Kenya Defence Force sponsored team, but they really need to wake up, pull up their socks. They really did a lot of investment in bringing in new players, but that financial muscle with everything is not being reflected on the actual result that we expect to see. So for me, I will not be surprised if I see them, being, beaten again. It's normal for them.
Actually,
maybe
I'm
I
going
can-
with Postas Rangers. They'll win the game.
They will
Yeah,
a margin of
2-1.
Mm.
Yeah, 2-1.
Actually, I will bank on Poster Rangers to actually thrash the Ulinzi Stars. It doesn't matter, they are tactician, so what?
Yeah.
This is another club, with totally different new formation, structures, everything. So for me, I think this is a team that is fast, struggling to find chemistry. Second of all, they haven't really, in as much as they did some signing, but I don't think if they're really utilizing the signings that they did. So for me, they still have a lot to do. Well, another interesting match, that is Nzoia Sugar versus Sofapaka. What is your prediction on that one? Who do you think will actually, carry the 3 points at the end of the day?
Zoya Sugar will carry the 3 points.
All right.
Yeah, I think they'll go with the margin of maybe 2-0 in that game. Being that Sofapaka, they are beach, but they are not that well into game yet. But the Zoya Sugar, I think they'll emerge the best.
All right. Actually, the last time Zoya Sugar, they played against Bandari, and it was a stalemate draw.
Yeah.
And a team of Bandari's caliber. This is a team that has the potential to dismantle any team in the Kenya Premier League. So this is a very strong team. But their opening match, they were beaten by Gor Mahia 1-0.
Yeah.
And of course, their second match against yet another big team, they drew.
They drew.
So this time round, I think it's their moment right now to
Yeah.
show what they has. Because of Afaka, for far too long, they haven't been at their best.
Yeah.
And I don't think if they can mount some serious challenge on Zoya Sugar. But I'll leave it for you to give us your prediction based on these two teams.
These ones, I would say they are birds of the same feather. If you look at them on the table, we have Nzoia Sugar in 12th position, and then we have Sofapaka in 11th. Their form also still the same, a loss and a draw in the last 2 matches. But again, I think I would agree with you for the first time. It's Nzoia Sugar win.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have actually agreed with me on that one, and there is yet another one that will agree. Now, this one they have been suspended, so actually we won't take much look at them. Gor Mahia versus Wazito FC, of course, that one will be pretty obvious for Gor without many questions being asked. Vihiga Bullet, Bidco United. Bidco United is a team that have really waken up. They are not the sleeping giant anyway, but their performance actually have been improving season in. But this is an average team, but they are trying actually to go out there and challenge to show what they have. Kariobangi Sharks, Mathare United, same script, same story, suspended. So that one will not take much a look at it. Now, the biggest on Sunday, this is where the real test of time lies. Tusker FC and FC Leopards. Of course, these are two teams, so actually that are really, they have good history as far as Kenya Premier League is concerned. They have records. One stand at 15 titles, the other one at 12 titles. Of course, they have really dominated that scene, and this is the biggest match of it all. Tusker leads the table with 6 points. Same case to Gor Mahia, but of course they are separated by goal difference. They have scored a margin of probably, they are 3 goals ahead of Gor. Gor stands, of course, they are 4 goals ahead of Gor. Gor stands with 3 goals. And FC Leopard and Tusk FC, they have a goal difference of 4. Now, when you look at these two particular fixtures, remember the opening fixtures, FC Leopards, they won. They won their first match and it was 2-0 victory. So they kept a clean sheet. But now it's a new season and they're meeting for the first time this season. But head-to-head statistics will tell you otherwise. But who do you think this time round has an upper hand between Robert Matano led charge and of course the FC Leopards boys?
For me, I'm going for Tusker, obviously. I've been with them for the last 2 matches, and that doesn't change for this particular one. I think the only head start AFC Leopards have coming to this match is that they didn't play their last match last weekend because of the pending hearings on some of those teams that we have talked about. If you look at their head-to-head stats, we have not had draws in the last 5 matches. We have had Tusker winning 3 of the 5, and then AFC Leopards winning 2. Again, these are fixtures that we don't see lots of goals. It's either 2-1 or 1-0. I mean, a game of fine margins, and that has to be Tusker for me.
Tusker for you?
Yeah.
Well, for that one, I have no opinion because this one will surprise many.
So why don't you have opinion? Maybe I'm going with a draw. Even though you have said there haven't been any draw in the last 5 matches, I'm going with a draw in that particular match.
Well, I see the 1 hour in go. I see them mounting some serious challenge. I don't know why, but I have a strong feeling that today might, of course tomorrow, might be their day. It will be 3 points for them. But this one is a tricky one.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. It's a tricky match. The one that with high intensity and actually the one that sets the tempo. You know, Tusker have been constant, you know, and they have been a dominant force. They want to reckon with as far as title credential is concerned, and they don't want to lose the grip. The same case to FC Leopards. They have been chasing this title for so long, and now I think it's their moment to keep the pace. So tension will be high, intensity will be high. It's a game of whoever makes, you know, mistakes and the other one capitalize is the one that carry the day. So this game will be determined by 2 factors: who defends well, who attacks well, and whoever makes mistakes, the smallest margin of it, the one that pounds on those mistakes is the one that will carry the day for me. So the swindle will swing at either side. It will be good. It will be Tusker. It will be FC Leopards. Whoever plays the card right will carry, because this one nobody really can predict. That is according to me. I know both teams, they are in top form. I can tell you for sure. I have seen FC Leopards in their training, and I can tell you the preseason they have really, really improved. And now that they have sponsors and they're working on, you know, lifting the ban, so this is a team that actually you can't underrate them. So it's a tough one for me. So if you were to bet, well, I don't know. I don't have advice for you. Well, City Stars, Talanta FC.
City Stars, Talanta. I'll go for City Stars.
Mm-hmm.
In that they were thrashed 4-1, and now they have Talanta. They'll try to avenge the last defeat by Tusker. And being that Talanta, they are even quite a bit much low, and even in the table ranking, they are wako pale chini kidogo. I'll go, okay, they are in the same caliber with the City Stars, but City Stars have an upper hand in that game. I'll go with City Stars.
City Stars for you. All right,
Yeah.
Michael, who do you think City Stars will rule the city, or Atlanta will come and snatch the 3 points?
I think for me, I'm going for a draw in this one.
All right.
Given the fact that FC Talanta, of course, have had a postponed match, and then that is one of the head start, just like AFC Leopards coming to this match. And then for City Stars, they want to redeem themselves, having lost against Bidco and then in a second match. So I think it's a draw for me.
It's a draw.
Yeah.
Well, if I want to go with, you know, the rankings of teams, you know, your prediction, which team do you think will carry based on statistics, which team is in form, head-to-head between encounters between the two teams, which one, the last season comparison between the table, I'll give it City Stars. And now I think City Stars, they are the wounded lion. Of course, they were beaten thoroughly. It was, unforgivable defeat. And I'm sure maybe next time when they meet Tusker, it will be a revenge time. So all the anger, all things will be directed at Atlanta. So for me, I'll root it out for City Stars to do something. And another one is Bandari and FC Leopards. I think this, and KCB, I mean, and I think this is yet again another big match. If you see Bandari performance and KCB, of course, these are two dominant teams in the Kenya Premier League. Bandari, of course, last season they finished third on the table. KCB really began the season quite okay with some improving and impressive performance, but somewhere along the line some things just slipped and error happened and they had to struggle. This time round, the story is still the same. They won their first and they lost their second. So this time round, the battle between KCB and of course Bandari, the Dockers. Who do you think probably this time will be lucky one?
I'm giving it to Bandari.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, because they are at home, Mbaraki Stadium. I think that will be an extra motivation for them. And then I'm looking at some of these new signings. Talk of James Kinyanjui. He has not really settled in, and that is something I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets to cope up with the new environment, and of course show why he has been, brought to this team. And for KCB, they started very well with a win, but again, coming to the second match, it's a loss. They want to redeem themselves, but I think for me, that is a win for Bandari, also given their last season performances. Yeah.
All right. A win for Bandari for him. A win for who?
A win for KCB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they are in much better position. A win, a loss. I think this one they'll carry a win. Even though Bandari is at home, but KBC will carry a win.
Will carry a win.
Yeah.
So they would use all the money and the resources that they have.
Yeah.
Even if it's, buying whatever goals or even referees, right?
It's not financial
I noticed
matters.
the two of you actually, you don't read from the same script. You are you a Manchester United fan?
Yeah, of course, no doubt.
And Arsenal. Oh, no wonder. Actually, you just like you don't read from the same script. And that is amazing. Well, that brings the end to sports local review. Of course, up next is international sports review. We'll be taking a look and actually dipping deeper into the World Cup that is happening. And a couple of stories that have happened. We have seen a lot of heartbreak from biggest teams like Belgium, Germany. Bowing out of the World Cup in the group stage. It's so sad, but on a happy note, however, the likes of Senegal, Morocco, the only Africans' hope right now in the World Cup. Of course, 3 have been sent home, 2 remaining. Of course, we hope that the joy will be carried until the quarterfinals. Until then, maybe we'll be talking about will they reach the semi-finals, and of course, if they do reach the semi-finals, then it is a moment for Africa. But all in all, these teams have really performed impressive, and I'm glad to see that there is no any single African team except Ghana that haven't registered a victory against one of the dominant teams. Remember, Cameroon beat Brazil, one of the tournament's favorite. We had Morocco thrashing Belgium 2-0 and keeping a clean sheet. What a joy to watch. We had the likes of Senegal, beating the host Qatar, thrashing Ecuador, and of course booking their slot in the round of 16. So great joy to see what African teams are doing. And of course now that with the likes of Germany going, Belgium going, I don't know which team are you supporting. But until then, we'll be taking a look at that, and you'll be telling us more about that after this break. See you in a bit.
criteria on how we select the students who join the program. And for us, the criteria is that they must come from a needy background.
We have very many programs at Nairobi's, but specifically I will highlight one. That is the intake program, and it has two areas that we focus on, or rather two stages that it works, happens. So the first one is the DLP, that is the Digital Literacy Program. It is the first training that anyone gets to interact with at Nairobi's.
Imagine living in a society that embraces social justice and equal opportunities for all. On Woman Crush Wednesday, Rise Today, we bring you experts for meaningful conversations on matters, gender equality.
Mimi nasaona hakuna gender equality as we speak.
So we continuously work with the men.
I feel that they are judging the girl.
Parenthood.
Mind is very important in infertility.
Mental and physical health.
You need to be surrounded by a proper network.
After nimeanza healing process, nilikumbuka kuhusu boys na wase wenye niliacha ghetto. Like kila wakati nilikuwa najaribu kutafuta mbinu yenye naweza wafikishie ujumbe.
I feel like if you have 15 minutes, if you have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever amount of time, use it, because any physical activity is beneficial. No physical activity is dangerous for you.
And we touch on current affairs.
Marrying is a journey. It means you're taking a journey together.
I'm dying to be different. Changamoto ziko, but you can't sit there saying, oh, mimi nitafanya mziki siku yenye dozi takampe. You look at this person and you're like, wow, they just woke up and they found themselves here.
Join us every Wednesday morning at 7 to 10 a.m. here on Rise Today Woman Crush Wednesday. I am your host, Nina Gikunda.
I think the state should actually properly and in all manner of ways avoid being engaged in religious conversations, whether in normal, and actually I've been finding it very difficult to understand why a president of this republic and his deputy keeps on taking religious positions and believing that
Leo utakuwa tunazungumzia kuhusiana na maombi. Wazee wetu wa zamani walikuwa wanafanya kitu kinaitwa kuasa koma. Yaani maombi ambayo wanawakumbuka babu na kina babu.
Tunaamini kwamba mtu akifa hafi. Mtu akifa huwa bado anaishi.
Naam.
Sasa katika kule kuishi kwake bado anaweza kukutatulia matatizo. Huyu ni babu aliyemzaa baba. Anaitwa ya wabaya wagungu. Huyu ni bibi yake Juma Bale. Masi koma. Unapoya kwa Masi ya ahala ya kumdungu. Ndo maana ya koma. Agilia makapindi wale maana hasa koma ili mapoya matumazo.
Hello everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaplo. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have box exercise, we'll have kata box, just name them.
Pull up in a beam, too much, too clean and tall. Don't foster, serious and other. A big time player. Grip too big and ganja. I went flexer, Tina said gym,
The show comes every Thursday from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Keep it locked. Make sure we keep fit. And that's it from me to you. Let's be fit.
I went flexer, Tina said gym, too hot like a heater. My neck done froze like winter. I'm very young, liquor, Shay's told me picture.
Sasa sote tuko sawa, nchi moja yenye usawa, tunasonga mbele pamoja. Nobody's left behind.
this time round we take a look at the World Cup. The round of 16, of course, is here with us. Some teams have already been placed who will be playing who. And on this particular Saturday, of course, we have Netherlands will be battling out for glory against USA. Then Argentina, Australia. I've already seen who is going home. And I can see you're very happy, Australia. Actually, this is Australia is one of the underdogs teams that many did not actually expect they will proceed to this round of 16.
Actually,
and here they are.
Underrated but performing, you know.
All right.
Yeah, they have a very good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their defense is actually very good.
Actually, one of the things that I came to realize about this World Cup, it's not about how many stars you have in the team.
Yeah.
It is how you defend and how you attack.
And the commitment of the players is a very key.
Yeah, true. The chemistry, everything. And actually, if you look at, allow me to refer to this team because actually they have made us proud. Are you happy, by the way, about Cameroon beating Brazil?
Yeah, I'm very, very happy.
You're happy, my brother?
Of course.
You seem that you're not happy about Brazil, losing.
Okay, I'm happy because Cameroon won and left the World Cup on a high note.
Right.
But again, the aim is to qualify. They didn't, so...
But you die a soldier.
I think
at the end of the day, history will be written. The first team in Africa, the first African country to beat Brazil in the World Cup.
The fact
it
that we won.
Never happened.
The fact that we won against Brazil, I'm very much satisfied.
Yeah,
I don't care
and
about
actually,
the qualification.
talking about this, and there is some sort of reaction that was happening there in Cameroon. I don't know if my director can give us that Cameroon reaction, celebrating that infamous win. What really happened?
Victoire, merci le collectif. Les gens pouvaient, malgré l'absence de Nana, tous se sont donnés à fond. On a montré que le Cameroun c'est un pays de gloire. Pas le Cameroun. On félicite tous les joueurs pour le combat. On félicite le président Samuel Eto'o. On félicite nos compatriotes qui se sont battus. On a arraché la victoire.
Well, for those who don't understand French, actually that guy was telling, it's telling us that bring on Argentina, bring on France, bring on everybody. We are up to the task.
You just seen the satisfaction in that video. What I was saying, as much as we have not qualified, the fact that we managed to beat the Brazil for the first time in Africa.
Yeah, right.
That's the satisfaction,
actually,
the joy in it.
It's history in making.
Yeah.
History in making. Do you see the love?
For me, I'm not going for that. Unfortunately, I think that is stooping too low. I mean, for an average fan, it is understandable, but again, as Africa, we need to go to these matches with the name of qualifying. I mean, I don't know what the guy is so much. He seems so excited about it, and I think we need to just do better than that.
Oh, my brother. Did you see the odds? The odds were against Cameroon.
I understand. They also came to the matches, to the World Cup, actually, as one of the lowest ranked teams.
Thank you.
But again, if you want to achieve, I don't think that is the mentality.
Well, for me, let me give you my assumption, how I see it. Cameroon goes home, hero. They played very fantastic game against Serbia. They played out of this world, amazing football against Brazil, arguably one of the best teams in the world. And by the way, make no mistakes, Brazil is the top ranked team in the world. Talk about Cameroon. Actually, they really deserve it. They deserve to go to the streets. They deserve to celebrate, to party, to be given holiday, to enjoy. In fact, Africa, we need to be given holiday to at least have this, to sink it in. The joy is so much that, I can't even express it. So for me, I think they deserve it. They have won against one of the biggest team, one of the dominant teams, one of the best teams in the world, one of the tournament favorites. They deserve to celebrate.
Okay, let me be lenient with the fans. For the fans, they can be very excited. The enthusiasm, they need to show it. But for the players, I still think they have a long way to go. They're coming to win. No matter the kind of game you show, you are playing well so that you can win, and of course, putting a challenge. They played very well yesterday against Brazil, and I just hope they could have started that way from the start.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now that we are talking about the performance of Africa teams, 3 have gone home, sadly. We have the likes of Cameroon going home, heroes. Then we have the likes of, we have Ghana, and with Ghana, then we have Tunisia. Of all the teams, Ghana is the only team that have actually not won in their group. I'm saying they haven't really registered
performance,
any win, sort of. Yesterday they were thrashed with Uruguay, but unfortunately they went home with Uruguay. And talking about the teams that really went home, then we have Tunisia. Regardless of them beating France, it was not enough to at least salvage a point for them. But all in all, I'm very impressed with African performance in this World Cup. I heard somewhere, they were rated like one of, some even said like they will not, progress to the round of 16. And yet here we are, Senegal, Viva Morocco. And of course, you never know. The fairy tale still continues on. Senegal will face England. And I have, high hopes in this team. Like, they will surprise us. They will surprise us in a positive way. Then Morocco, Spain. That one, I'll have to hold my, horses. This one is a tough one. But for England, Senegal, the match is tomorrow. And we can bet on that. These boys will perform.
Let me say for Morocco, I'm giving them a bigger chance than as compared to Senegal, because you look at them, the way they have been playing, less possession, but they will execute their goal at the end of the day. You look at their performance against Belgium, they won with a 33% possession, but if you look at the other stats in terms of shots, they were the better team. I understand you are talking about a Belgium team that there has been reports that there is a dressing room row, but I think I'll give them more chance against Spain.
This guy, do you know Senegal?
Of course, I've seen them playing fantastic football.
Those guys are beasts. No wonder they are the best team in Africa, the top ranked team in Africa. How do you see it?
Senegal England is a very, very tough game. I see them reaching the penalties. Yeah. In the first 90, there won't be any goal. They will reach the penalties, and thereafter we'll know the fate. But our Lions of Teranga are very much great competitors. And in Morocco, Spain, I'll go with Spain. I'll go with Morocco, of course. Yeah, Spain, they don't have a sharp striker. They only depend with Morata, who is not that very sharp at the forward. He only depends on the midfield. Okay, they have actually a great midfield. The number 1, the top rank under 21, that is Pedri, and they have Gavi. These two boys are actually great midfielders. They'll deliver him the ball, and then what will Morata do? He will score. But then in that game, I give Morocco actually a very high odds.
Okay.
Yeah, they might beat Spain 1-0.
Viva Morocco.
Viva Morocco.
All right. Then today's fixtures, we have Netherlands, USA. Of course, who do you think this time, who is going home, by the way? Because at the end of the day, somebody must go home tonight.
Tonight we are thinking the superpowers.
Superpowers.
Yeah,
Okay.
they must go. Netherlands will win.
Captain America.
Yeah.
I'm backing Captain America to sink the Netherlands.
Because I've had reactions from fans talking about how USA have a fantastic game. Of course, we are talking about an USA side with the likes of Weston McKennie, a box-to-box midfielder. I saw against, is it Iran? They played with a 4-4-2, meaning that Weston McKennie playing from that is right wing, he was always having the chance to occupy those forward spaces.
All right.
But I think it's a win for Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have Argentina, Australia.
Obviously,
the masters of the game, actually the apprenticed versus students.
Yeah.
Who is going home?
Australia is going home. Oh, that is obvious. There's no debate there. I can't debate on that. Australia
There's
is
no
going
some
home.
sort of surprise move here.
There is no surprise move.
All right. What about you? I couldn't agree less, by the way.
I don't want to admit, but I'll be forced to. I think Argentina will carry the day. But again, in this kind of matches, it's not about the quality of players you have. Yes, it plays part, but again, it's all about the motivation and the urge to to prove a point.
And actually, there is a slogan in Argentina: "Let's do it for Messi."
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So they played for their Messiah. So this time they want him to win the World Cup. So they'll throw their heart, everything they have for that particular game. Actually, if you look at their last two games, those guys, they have really given it all. They defend well, they attack, and I think Argentina will be a threat. And probably, who knows, maybe we'll see them in the final. You never know. Argentina, Brazil, somewhere there. I would love to see that. It will be amazing, epic, in fact. Then we have France, Poland.
France, Poland. Oh, this is another big game. Mbappe against Lewandowski. But I think France have a better chance. The France has a very sharp forward and a very good defense. Don't talk about the midfield. The midfield is perfect. You will find that.
Which midfield? France.
Yeah, France. They have a very good midfield.
Oh my God.
Okay. Don't talk about the injuries. I know Angola is missing, and Pogba is also missing. But look at the two kids, the Camavinga and Tchouameni, the two Real Madrid players. They are very fantastic. I've been following them since the Champions League last season. They are actually very good players.
All right.
They have Dembele and Mbappe at the wing. These two guys have that speed that will demoralize the defense of Poland.
And they have Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, who never misses a chance.
All right, but he missed quite a lot the last game.
Yeah.
So anyway, then we have England, Senegal. Senegal.
Senegal, I think it will be a very tough game for both teams. As he said, I think we'll see a nil-nil draw or just a draw at full time.
Then
for France, I think that's a win for France. They have very good players. If you are looking for a player who can pick a pass from the wide areas, you have Theo Hernandez. And then I was very disappointed to see Poland qualify to the round of 16.
Why were you disappointed?
Because I thought Mexico would have deserved that chance as compared to them, the kind of game they played against Argentina. I mean, they were just lucky.
Well,
but also in this competition,
they were playing a superior team.
Yeah, but you have to outdo some of these top teams for you to.
Then another one, Japan, Croatia, the dark horse.
That game is very tough, huh? Comparing Croatia of 2018 and Croatia of 2022, I think Japan is playing more like of Croatia of 2018. Croatia of 2018, you could find that in the first half, they were 2-0 down. Then in second half, the Croatia of 2018 could make a comeback of 3-2 or 4-2, even go to the extra time of that extra 30 minutes, then come out victorious in the game. That's what Japan is doing in this particular World Cup of 2022. You've seen them coming down from a 1-0 defeat to a 2-1. Until now, they have qualified. They're in the 16th. And I think that game is equally a very difficult game, but it might tell 1-0 in favor of Japan.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there is Brazil, then Brazil, South Korea, even as you give your views concerning Japan, Croatia.
For the Brazil, I don't think there is an argument about that.
All right.
Summer boys. And then Japan, Croatia, we have seen a very resilient Japanese side against top teams, against Spain, again against Germany in the first match. And now for Croatia, I think they are going to fight, because you saw they drew against Morocco with more possession. Japan might not have so much possession, but I think they'll be the better team in this one. But there is a player to watch in the Croatian team, that is Josko Badiel. At only 20 years old, he has been having I think he has been one of the best players in this tournament. And that's why he's attracting attention from some top teams like Chelsea.
All right.
So I think looking at Japanese team, the pace and everything, the transitioning of their play, I think one player that we will have to watch in that defensive setup of the Croatian team is Josko.
Well, Portugal, Switzerland. This one, it's a tough one. Tough. Portugal is your team, right?
Yeah.
Do you see maybe it is on Tuesday? Do you think on Tuesdays when you will be packing and of course head back home? Or do you have hopes?
We are not packing anytime soon. I'm very confident about that. I know Switzerland is a very good team, the organization, everything. But again, you are looking at a Portuguese team where you have every caliber of player that you need to, of course, win big competitions. In the Euros, they had some weaknesses in their hold-up play. If you looked at how Bruno Fernandes was not one of the best players by then, in terms of he kept on losing the ball. But I watched them from the pre-season, that is pre-World Cup friendly against Nigeria, and I can see lots of improvement in their midfield. If you're looking for a player who can progress the passes, give those progressive passes, you have Bernardo Silva. You have on the white spaces, you have the likes of Rafael Leao. You have had that is your Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not going to talk about him so much. I don't think he has been in his best given the situation at Manchester United. But I think we have what it takes to win this tournament.
Do you share the same sentiments with him?
Okay, actually, even though I don't want it to be like that, but I'll vouch for Portugal to win in that match.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at the big misses. We're talking about the teams like Belgium, by the way, after they were, eliminated out of, the round of 16. Now the coach actually resigned. It was heartbreaking to see a big team like that one. And of course, there is some very interesting aspect that he had to say, and this is what he had to say about that particular match. I don't know if our director can play that particular soundbite for us.
Yılından bu yana işte gözyaşlarını tutamıyor.
That was actually Uruguay versus Ghana. The reaction of players, actually what happened after missing out of progressing to the round of 16, and they were really shedding tears. It was painful. They were leading 2-0, and actually it was South Korea that actually spoiled the party for them. So if you're a player and you have played a very competitive tournament and you have seen the prizes here, and in a blink of a second, things takes a drastic change. That is the feeling. And I think the best person that can explain that feeling is Luis Suarez. It was so hurting for him. Actually, this is his last World Cup, remember?
Yeah.
He's 36. And he wanted to some sort of leave a legacy behind. So many players, actually, they want to leave a legacy. We have the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. Actually, this is his last World Cup. Talk of Messi, Roberto Lewandowski. Then we have here Luis Suarez. But unfortunately, even Edison Cavani. But unfortunately, this is football. And anything is possible. And that's what makes football amazing. If you can return to that Belgium, what the coach had to say after actually being eliminated. Remember, Belgium is the second ranked team in the world, that is according to FIFA ranking, and them leaving prematurely, and of course that must be heartbreaking, and the coach could not wait for critics here to resign as early as possible. Let's take a look at that one.
And it's emotional, as you can imagine. I can't carry on. Sorry. It's been amazing. It's been 6 years that we've been able to do everything that you want to do in a club. We did it in a national team. Makes me extremely proud, and we loved the way that this team has played, and is giving everyone an incredible joy. And the real fans in Belgium, they appreciated what this generation are doing, and is the time for me to take to accept that this is the last game.
Right there, the last game for him, and of course a very painful one. At the end of the day, it is not the good days, the old winning, the transformation in Belgium team that will be remembered, but it is the near misses that Belgium have actually recorded that will be remembered in the history of many players. We're talking about the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, talk about Romelu Lukaku, Eden Hazard, a team that has quality players, and of course, as they said, football is a crazy game. And in words of Sir Alex Ferguson, he just laughed and say, football. Bloody hell. That's what happened. Anyway, there is another team that many were actually rooting for it to make some magic happen. We're talking about Denmark. Remember Denmark during the qualifiers, they actually recorded 100% win. But my goodness, what happened? Nobody can really tell. Probably maybe Christian Eriksen can help. Navigate through this.
He didn't. So it's not a case of whether or not they are already out. They have, I think they had a lot of quality in the likes of Mikkel Damsgaard, talk of Kasper Dolberg. They were one of the couple of players that we saw with impressive performances in the other tournaments, talk of the Nations League, the Euros, very good performances. But coming to this one, I just don't know.
Oh.
I have no comment on that.
That's why I said maybe Christian Eriksen can help us understand what really happened. Anyway, there is another team, the German machine. If there is team that actually really hurt my feeling, was German. I have really rooted for that team. I have supported it. Well, I'll have to switch allegiance. I don't know where, but it is heartbreaking to see the likes of Leroy Sané going home, the likes of Serge Gnabry. We have Thomas Muller. Talk about quality Germany has, but Japan spoiled the party. Them winning, then that meant that they will have to forfeit their ambition and wait for another day. Then we have the likes of Wales. Wales went home, but did you see them even progressing, by the way, to begin with?
It was the first time, I think, in how many years?
6 or something.
Yeah, so many years for them. But again, I thought they had so much of quality, the player profiles. the experience, talking about they have Gareth Bale, they have Aaron Ramsey, who has had a run in the Premier League, in Serie A, talking about some very experienced players in Joe Allen. But I don't know. I have no comment on that.
Well, one of the key things that actually people were talking about, majority of squad was comprised of old players. Some call them the olden generation. Do you think that could have had the ripple effect that we saw them, registering this some sort of poor performance?
Okay, with Wales, I think their goal was already met. Their goal was only to qualify for the World Cup, and I didn't see them having the intention of making it further.
All right.
And in Germany, okay, the Flick went on preferring on the experience rather on the young talent.
All
You
right.
could see a player like Fulkrug, who is now in his best performance.
All right.
He was benched, and they played Muller, who was a bit shaky in terms of being in form or something. And a couple of games you saw him substituting Muller for Fulkrug, and the game automatically changed. So I think it was just a strategic issue with the German team.
All right.
On preference of experience rather than on the youngsters who are able to give much more compared to the experienced team.
All right, then another one, of course, that would have it has already disappointed many. We are talking about Uruguay. But before even if we take a look at this particular Uruguay, remember I told you this was the final match of the final World Cup for Luis Suarez. And prior to their encounter with Ghana, I remember they met in 2010. That is, a lot of things actually really happened 12 years down the line. Same story. And he was asked if you can apologize to the Ghana for what you did. And Luis Suarez was unapologetic. Can you get that particular sound bite so that we can, at least hear what he had to say before, they were humble, because he won, yes, but still he went home. So for me, it's a tough one for him. No wonder they cry.
The first time, I don't say the apologize about that, because I take the handball, the ball, but the Ghana player miss a penalty, not me. Maybe I can say apologize if I take a tackles and take injury the player and take a red card. Maybe I can say apologize. But in this situation, I take a red card, the ref say penalty. It's not my fault, because I don't miss the penalty. You see the player miss a penalty, he say he do it the same in this situation. It's not my responsibility they shoot the penalty.
Yeah, in words of Luis Suarez, you see the player missing out of, the round of 16. Yes, it's not my responsibility. The players had to score many goals and win many matches for them to qualify anyway. And in regard to that, after, winning, yes, and of course missing out, they really cried. Let's take a look at that one.
Yılından bu yana işte gözyaşlarını tutamıyor.
Right, and those were some of the reaction, and of course it's actually heartbreaking And I could feel why they had to cry, because they did not lose, they won, and they were depending on some other end of results, and actually things happened, and South Korea won, and they had to wait a little bit longer until maybe hoping and praying for some magic, but nothing really happened. And that is what happened yesterday. So Uruguay, Serbia, Wales, Germany, Belgium, Denmark, and of course Tunisia, Ghana, Cameroon, all home. Not forgetting the host, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, they all went home. And right now it is the last round of 16, and fixtures are already out, and we just hope to see what will happen for us. I personally am rooting for Senegal and Morocco. A win for Africa is a win for all of us. Thank you so much for all those made this production a success. And for you, our viewers, thank you so much for always choosing to stay with On The Spot as your number one sport, of course, sports show. Until next time, do have a blessed and a very lovely December, and of course a weekend ahead of you. And even as you prepare for this festive season, I really wish you all the best. Thank you so much. See you next time. My name is OUMA Evans. Until next time, it's a bye-bye for me.